Alright everyone, here we are in Cairo on my mini account, and I'm just going to be covering a couple of the basic things that you guys need to think about when we go there. And obviously you can tell I haven't logged in at all today, so we'll come to all this in a second. First things first, here is a rough map of Cairo. Up here is one of the 4 potential spawn zones, and then on this side is the second one. Down the bottom of the map is the third, and then back over here on the left is the 4th. You basically get assigned north, south, east and west, and you will spawn randomly all over that safe zone. So you can see the blue outline around here. That is our safe zone, and you can spawn anywhere within that safe zone at any time. So you know, when you first load into the game, there's only the 2 settlements. So we've got Western Front Settlement, which is like the northwest, and then we've got the southwest. So these settlements is just first in best dressed, so only 2 of the 4 alliances can claim a settlement. However, it doesn't really matter who gets it, because any zones claimed by your alliance impacts all 4 alliances, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So here, the benefits of actually taking the settlement: so you get alliance repute 5 points per minute, and a black market has an additional section for sale. So when you come down into your black market, you've got your regular rewards, building materials, and then you've got an extra settlement stuff over there. So some of the zones that you start with automatically available to you are the Oasis, and I'll just try and find where our one is, because I'm recording. My screen is a little bit slow to load. That's just a regular village. Where is our Oasis? There it is. So we've got the airstrip over here. I'll do the airstrip first. Airstrip gives you what is called a oh, it's not going to load on me now. There we go. The airstrip gives you mega airdrops. These are additional airdrops, and it's double rewards. So handy, but not very important, right? So if I go to my base now and I go mega airdrop, so I'm 6 out of 6 mega airdrops. That is because we own 6 airports. Out of the 4 alliances, we currently hold 6, so it's 6 additional drops, which is insane. And then I'll do one for you and activate it. You can see that you get these red boxes. So that one was 200 ammo and 500k resources. In normally, yep, obviously you still get your regular loot drop, 250k and 25. So you could see it was double the value of the super. So that's just with the airports. The building that we should be focusing on really quickly is the Oasis. It's probably one of the first zones that you want to capture once you start, after you start your CC. And the reason why I say this is because Oasis towns give the Alliance missions. Now these missions are every single day. You can do up to 8 missions, and the missions themselves give you desert oil. Now desert oil is the currency in Cairo. The best buildings that you can produce and all the research in the tech tree that I'll show you in a second require desert oil. Now they have a prestige level. So when you start completing these missions, you can see I've completed 0 of the 3 missions from this Oasis, but our prestige is affinity level 1. So this one we haven't been using much of, but as you grow your building prestige level, the benefits increase. So if you can get it to an adoring level 5, you're getting an additional 10% firepower and 13% health, and that is for the entire coalition. So that is not just your alliance, for all 4 alliances from that building. Now, like I said, you can have multiple oases. So if I go into my theater of conquest, this is what everything that you need is here. So there's your individual missions, your conquest, which is your alliance missions, your rankings, the store for the end, and on the left hand side over here you have your oasis town missions. So for every oasis you capture, it shows up on this list. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 oasis that we've captured. Right, and you can see here that this is a standard oasis and then a bustling oasis. So these are ones that we've already started upgrading, and to do that you accept these missions. So if I was to kill 50 enemy reserves, it would reward me with 36,000 desert oil and 140 points to my prestige level for that oasis building. So this one is currently affinity 2. Right, so it's currently giving us a 3% boost, just this one. And then we've got this one. So if I was to do, like, you have a look down here, this mission here, only using 8 coupons, bam, 62,000 oil, 210 points. As the oasis levels up, these get better. So the rewards and the payout is so much bigger as you get to the larger ones. So that's affinity 2s. So you can see there's a range of tasks: kill enemy, assist your allies, kill 5 raven troops. I love this one because you just spawn level 1 wood and you kill it 5 times, bang bang bang, and the mission is complete. And it's generally a really good payout, so hopefully they don't nerf it, because this is one of the best ones that you can get in terms of fast and easy to complete. If anyone says that they cannot complete their 8 missions in a day, they are not trying, because it is really, really simple. And it does refresh. So if you don't like the missions that are here, it refreshes. And I can give you one better. You can start a mission, and if you don't like it, if you change your mind, if you get beat up and you can't complete it, you can decline it. You lose your progress, but it does not count towards your completed missions. So you don't lose one of your missions by declining it. All right, it just goes back. So, you know, collecting resources for those farmers and builders, collecting resources is an easy one to complete while you're moving your base around the map and building. Fight in the arena, it's really easy, so hence the low value. Defeat bunkers is another one. There you go, destroy raven bunkers isn't too bad. Airdrops is another easy one, you know, assisting your alliance members. And there's not one here at the moment, but another one is just doing your alliance research. All right, so jumping in and doing your alliance research page gives you rewards as well. So really, really simple in terms of the Oasis town, and I cannot stress enough, this is going to be the most important part of our game. Every single member, 8 missions a day, get that oil, get the Oasis town upgraded so you get the better rewards, and I'll show you why. In your we'll go to my research tech tree. You now get an additional map tech tree research. All right, so when you come into your map, it says map buildings. This is the tech tree for spending your desert oil, and it unlocks all of the important things that you can use throughout the game. I've only been in Cairo as a muck around tool. I am not wasting resources getting all these unlocks, but there's roadblocks, so this unlocks your roadblocks. This increases your collection trucks health, and this is really, really important because your collection trucks are now used to produce defensive buildings, and I'll show you through the defensive buildings in a second. But you can see here I've gone to max on these. So this is the desert oil reduction costs. and Oasis Town mission rewards. So you want to increase your Oasis Town mission rewards and also reduce your oil costs right away. So then you come to the combat tech tree. So we have the Antillean launcher, which is an underground pop-up defensive unit, and I'll show it to you in a second. You've got your Locust Shield, which is an anti-air defense system, and then you've got your Scorpion Cannon, which is just a single point unit. And if I go to my conquest, I can go to my map buildings, and here are mine. It comes under the combat buildings. So here are my three. I'll show you where they are. So there's my turret, my Scorpion Cannon, and the HP and firepower it has is leveled to your level. So obviously the stronger players are going to put down much stronger turrets, and it's probably something that they need to fix in the game. If I was to use like a level 6 account, the costs is still the same. This costs 200,000 to build the Scorpion Cannon. So if I was to abandon it now and put down another one, these are my buildings over here. So I've built 2 out of 2 Scorpion Cannons. You can get upgrades to have more, same as roadblocks and shields and the Antillean launchers. So you can use your upgrades to get more of them. So far So if I was to show you the Locust Shield, it spawns in an anti-air defense system. Obviously you need to look at where you can put them on the map, and you can support players' bases by hiding them around the different defense mechanisms. Over here is the launcher. So it is underground at the moment, which means it can't be targeted by air units, and it only triggers when an enemy unit is in range. Now we've actually uncovered you can walk straight past these units. You can walk straight through a defensive line. So here you can see we've got a couple of bases setting up a defensive line around this point in the map. So you can actually, if you do not attack anyone, say everyone here is offline, you can drive right past it all, and if you don't instigate an attack, these will not target your troops. But as soon as you start attacking this base, you're in the zone range. You can see the range around the map there. If your troops are in there when you're shooting at this base, it will start targeting you. And I tell you now, when you've got 2 or 3 of these cannons firing at your frontline tanks, they are insane mass damage to a single unit, whereas the launcher here will do little bits of damage, but rapid fire. So it's just as devastating. It will take out a cluster because it does area damage as well. So anything within the map grid surrounding that unit also takes splash damage. So it's pretty crazy. And I love the Locust Shield air defense systems. It just saves time so you don't have to put out your troops or your fighters. You don't need to leave them out. The air defense system does the job for you. And then the roadblocks. I don't have any roadblocks down at the moment. We'll see if there's any still standing around here. So we came through and tried to rescue SF for their blockhouse, and let's see if there's any out here. They've all been taken out at the moment. Anyway, let's get back to the buildings and I'll show you what's important. So the first thing, you get the town. So you can see here, that's outside the zone. We'll go back to our zone defenses. The first part of the map is all closed off for the first couple of days, so you can build through your pathway. What we want to aim for is the 2 forts. Fort 3 is one of the most important, so if you can get the main road to Fort 3 early on, that gives you access to the middle of the map. So that opens up later on in the game after the first week, but the first one that opens up is your Fort 1s. So again, take the main road, get to Fort 1. Now, Fort 1 gives your alliance 1 point per minute and a damage resist, and that is for everyone. So I'm still getting the buff for all these forts that were taken by the allies in our coalition. Alright, in terms of the focus in the first zone, so this is like a dead zone now because we're into the middle map phase, and obviously the aim of the game is to get and capture the pyramid. So this is the middle map. We haven't opened up yet, so I think Blockhouse 2 opens up in 20 hours. There you go. So at the moment we're in our middle map phase, and all the alliances, all the coalitions have pushed into the middle, and you can see they've moved CCs as close to the blockhouses as possible. It really supports your troop movements and jumping back and forth across the map. Most of the fighting in this Zone 1 area has stopped, right? And because we're at a stalemate for 20 hours, so you can see Sector 78 have moved over here, getting ready for the next phase of the game. And because they're all over here now, we've decided that we're going to just come and be annoying and push them back. But the reason why you want to come over here is the military lab. So the military lab gives you a firepower and HB bonus and 10 points per minute. And the best thing about it is this one is only contested by the north and the west. And then you've got another one on the southern side, which will be contested by the south and the west. And then there'll be one on, so there's one in all 4 corners of the map. So there's only 4 labs on the map, and they're really useful to take. We did have both of them at one phase, but then we're also with alliances that have done absolutely nothing. They had 2 or 3 people show up, so we're not getting any support there. But the good news about this is that the first part of the map has a lot of choke points. So in order to get to the lab for this section of the map, there's a choke point right here. So we raced across and we took this point here because this pathway is the only way, and I stress the only point, this one here, for the whole North Coalition to get into the lab. So we just took off as soon as the map opened. We drove all the way up. We planted our CC here because you're given 2. So we planted our second one here, and then we grew back into the base with our builds, and we captured that whole middle zone. And like I said, unfortunately S78 were a lot stronger than us, and they've pushed us back, but good on them. Once you capture all that, we start into the middle phase, right? So the level 3 forts open up. So again, level 3 is troop and base damage bonuses, and 1 repute. Now there is 2, one at the top end, 1 at the bottom end, so you've got 2 access points. When you get into the middle, this is where you unlock the town, and it is one of your conquest missions to get into the town. And you can see there it gave me 1 million, and it gives you 1 million military fund every 24 hours. It also gives you 8 alliance repute points every minute, and it, same as always, it becomes shielded and then available for taking over by the enemy if they can push into your middle zone. The good news is most of the middle zones stay locked, so you can see over here they are landlocked on the map, so there's no way an enemy can get into your landlocked zone when the middle part opens up. So it gives everyone an opportunity to build into the middle part and consolidate before the enemy can access it. Now once that does open up, and you'll see, you get the level 1 blockhouse. So this is the first entry point, your blockhouse. So you've got +5 troop and map building, and then your 2 repute. And this is your defensive line. And basically you've got 4 alliances, 1 blockhouse. So there's 1 pathway out here, 2 pathways if you include the main road, and then a 3rd pathway at the bottom. So only 3 alliances can actually build outside of the blockhouse. So it's really like a race. So you can see SF came and built their CC here. As a coalition, we organised for them to secure the blockhouse straight away. And it was really important that you get that area. LS built it over here, so they came the south. Whereas because we had our 2nd CC already up here for the lab, we had to build down the road. You can see our build all the way down, and we came in through this point here. So there's only 3 ways through, and it doesn't matter who captures blockhouse, to be honest, because you all share in those rewards. But it pays to be the person to get it for the next level. So that is blockhouse 2, and again, people close up their CCs and move them to get to blockhouse 2. Blockhouse 2 is much the same. It is restricted, so you can see there's mountain ranges blocking everyone's path. Similar to Moscow, you have to go through the blockhouse to get in. This one has a 2nd access point there, but no northern one. So now you're narrowing it down to 2 access paths. So either alliances need to build their CC inside the middle zone or inside the central zone when it opens up, in order to push through to the pyramid. Obviously we haven't gotten to that phase yet, but if you build your CC at blockhouse 1, you build up to 2. This is where you now defend against the enemy once it unlocks. So they've built through, and then they've come across and taken our blockhouse. So they've actually tried, so you can see 78 have built, and they've tried to come to take all 3. So if they can cut off those accesses, like they haven't gone south yet, but if they cut off those access points, no one in these 4 alliances can push into the middle unless they try building a CC there. And obviously that's difficult to do because you can't airlift into neutral zones or enemy territory. You can only airlift into your own built areas. So in order to build a CC, you're going to need a lot of players driving their trucks into the middle zone through enemy territory. So you can try and secure all 4 areas if you wanted to. And if you're strong enough to as an alliance, two of you could go and take the north side, and then the other 2 could break off down the south side and cut everyone off and secure the middle yourself. There's a lot of strategy and tactics involved in what lands you do want. But that is a rough outline of the map and the gameplay. So you start off with your safe zone build, then you go to your corners of the map. That only lasts a couple of days before the midsection opens up, and then a couple of days later blockhouse becomes available, and then a few days later blockhouse 2, and then the pyramid a couple of days later again. So I think you can see here 3 days before this opens. So we're going to get 3 days of gameplay in the middle before anything else happens. So once again, if I come back here, you've got your mega drops, your build tab over here for your defenses. So Scorpion cannon is long range, the launcher is underground short range, so area attacks. Then you've got your anti-air shield, and then your roadblock. And the roadblock is pretty cool. It slows troops down, forcing them to pass through it. So it's kind of like AI. You know how when you move your troops you have AI controlling their movement? The roadblock sucks in one of the enemy troops and they have to pass through the roadblock. So if you put roadblocks around your frontline defenses, it cuts down on your base-to-base fighting. I don't know if there's any enemy coming over here to defend against us yet, but we might have some guys that have thrown down some. There's one. Alright, so in order for you to attack this base, one of your troops will get sucked into here, and it slows it down by a percentage, and that is all based on your research tech tree. So if you go back to your research tech tree and you go to your support, so it unlocks the roadblocks. You get the roadblock duration, so you can increase the duration of your roadblock and how long it lasts, and then the slowdown effect, so you can increase the slowdown effect by 20%, making it longer. You can increase your limit, all right, and the responsiveness. So there's all sorts of fun tech to be had, and you mess around with the designs. Everyone has started putting the turrets behind their base because of the map layout. You get a lot of mountain ranges and stuff, so a lot of people will attack from behind. If you put everything in the front row, they just work around where the defenses are, so it's good to spread them out. Some of the really cool ones that we've seen set up, actually we've gone and taken them out eventually, but if I come over here, there's generally some. What have we got going on over here? No, they're building. There we go. So you can see that they had defenses set up over here, and it's scattered. So if you start attacking this one, then you're getting fired on by these two, and obviously they don't hit air, so you've got to have some anti-air within there to prevent the enemy from coming through. We'll come back to all that. I'll just show you the airdrop again. So 300 gold's pretty good, and another 500k cash. And I'll show you how easy it is to complete some of these quests. So we go Theatre of Conquest, Oasis Town missions, so defeat Raven troops. Sometimes you'll notice that it's ordered from the biggest, sometimes it's not, so it's worth scrolling down and looking for your best payout ones. So obviously 62k is the best one that's there, so I'm going to accept that. 8 coupons, how easy is that? Go into the base. Hopefully I've actually got 8 left because we've just had our day, so I've only got 4 there. Alright, so that's not going to work, and easy as I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to decline it and I can take something else. Alright, so spawn in 5 Raven troops, for example. Bang. We'll take that out and I'll just show you. Alright, so there's one, and it will automatically update, so I'm now 1 out of 5. So it takes a couple of seconds, go bang 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 and kill them all. Then we have hidden camps. Hidden camps are one of those captured things. It's all gold related, but it's just another add-on to the black market. So you can get some really cool stuff comes in here, but it's always for gold. Sometimes you get some really good sales all the way up to 80-90% off, which is good. But like I said, it's spending your gold, so for some people this is just a no-go zone. But you will find Oasis missions in here, like spend 300 gold, and 9 times out of 10 I'll take that one and I'll go straight to my VIP and I'll go 100, 200, 300, done. And it's really that straightforward. Now, anything else that I'm forgetting? Some of the missions are similar. So resource from the so farming, defeating Raven troops is still there. It's all the same stuff from Moscow, getting a certain amount of enemy kills. So I think 25k is the max for kills. You've still got your alliance missions, so increase your alliance repute. Obviously the longer you're in there and the more buildings you have, the faster your alliance repute goes up. And then you've got coalition missions, so capture a factory, capture your level 2 blockhouse, go to the pyramid, hold 2 labs, so all of the same things, hold a settlement. Alright, then you've got your conquest ones, so we've just finished our Battlefield Bravery, which is to spend desert oil. So if you actually get really good ranking points for spending desert oil, so all those research and putting in turrets. I actually had like 3 million desert oil, so I was building and abandoning, and then building and abandoning and building and abandoning until I drained my thing. Now you'll get a new building, that's the one thing I forgot, and the new building is your oil refinery. Level 32 is the max that it will go to, and yes, it costs your engineering center products to upgrade. All right, so it is a resource drain, but it is worth it. At level 32, you're getting your 23,000 desert oil plus or minus your upgrades in your research and your buildings, and it also affects your max storage for the refinery. So at the moment, so my building is maxed and you can collect it, but in terms of my resources, if I come out here, it will say up here, so I've currently got 1.4 million and I'm not doing any research, so I could go into my research tab, go back to my combat, and at the moment, so my next one was to upgrade my launcher, which you can see is 1.42 million, which is why I was saving up. So now I can unlock that one, and it's a 2-day research. So the tech tree is quite expensive in terms of your upgrades. So you can see 1.42 million, and that's with my reductions in cost. So you can see here there's another oil cost reduction in the combat tree and an oil cost reduction in the support tech trees. So making sure that you're upgrading them before you do your things. So there's my scorpion limit, and I haven't unlocked my additional shield yet. That's going to be my next one, and I'm just letting that go. Now you can see here I was assisted by Whiskey as one of my assists. Whiskey is not in my alliance. Whiskey is actually from LS. So Whiskey's in the LS alliance. Yes, he just helped me. So as part of your coalition, all the help requests that come up, so there we've got Laskos, he's also from LS. So you're getting helped from your coalition. So it's really handy to keep your coalition at any given time. Not that I would suggest it. On your alliance tab page, you can go to coalition and you can remove your coalition's peace treaties. These are automatic for the entire length of the game. Alright, so at any time I can go here and dissolve it, and I can start attacking JXN if I want. But because of the benefits associated with it, if I was to remove SF, for example, my alliance now loses all of the benefits that SF have taken here, and I would have to go and attack them and take it back. So working as your coalition is beneficial. Now we have a treaty set up with PB2. We've created an alliance with them, so you can see that they're friendly to us. So I can't attack them. However, we do not gain their benefits being in a treaty with them. You have to be in a coalition to get those benefits. So although we're working together to knock off these guys at the top of the map, you don't get each other's benefits. You can't support each other. The treaty is just that. You can't attack each other, and that's it. So I can't airlift into SF, for example. Alright, this area has been claimed by another alliance, and that's probably something that they should fix. We really thought that coming into this, being a coalition, you should be able to jump to airlift into each other's territories. Alright, so it is important that you build through each section of the map, and like I said, with only 3 roads leading out, one of the 4 alliances will miss out or be forced to put a CC in the center. And that's not a bad thing, having a CC in that middle zone, like I said, because then you're coming down to 2 from 3. So you've on the outside you start at 4, in the second zone you cut down to 3, in the third zone you cut down to 2, and then the 4th zone in the middle. Obviously you only want to be the one team to have the pyramid at the end, but your coalition will benefit no matter who catches it. But I do believe, and I haven't tested it yet because ours isn't open, I do believe that the actual conquest mission, the alliance mission itself, you want to be the team that captures it for the mission. For those people who are new and missed out on Moscow, the conquest battle plan, read through it. On day one, I read through the battle plan, and because that's the order in which the map opens up, and I knew exactly what I was doing ahead of all the other alliances, which is why we were able to capture so much early on. So make sure you sit here and you go back to day one. Right, day one is to make sure you've got a central command. Day two is to get your settlement. Day three is to take your oasis. All right, you can do all of that on the first day, and we built our CC right next to the oasis, so we started collecting desert oil and getting those research upgrades on day one, and that was the most important thing. So from day one, get the oasis, do your researches, get all your missions completed, and then go through and have a read. Players that don't read, you're missing out, because that's where all the key information is. So hopefully, I know it was a bit of a length, being 36 minutes at the moment. I'll try and cut it down to just the parts that you need, but hopefully that was a good insight into the map and the gameplay. Like I said, I can go in and see there's an alliance war at the moment going on between PB2, so I can actually now go and jump in and support my coalition, right, which was cool. So I can see when all of my allies are being attacked, and so you can see here LS are attacking PB2. LS, even though they're in my coalition, they don't have a treaty with PB2 like I do. They're not smart, but you can see here that he is building his defenses. He's expecting some ground forces. And like I was saying before, your collection trucks, so his collection truck is what's used to build this defense. So if I was to come back to my base, let's just waste it. Actually, no, I don't think I've got the 50k now because I've just spent it. But if I was, actually, there we go. I've forgot about my rewards. So if I was to build that, you'll see that it takes a collection truck. Let's just move it away from my base so I can cancel it. So it takes a collection truck to go and deploy in order to build. So you want a lot of health on your collection trucks because the enemy will see them and they will pick them off really, really quickly. I tell you now, if I see a collection truck going past my base, you kill it straight away. So everyone goes, oh, stop killing my trucks. I'm just going to farm resources and whatnot. No, they're not. Their collection truck can go right behind your base and build a turret right behind you. So as soon as you deploy your troops, bang, it starts attacking you. So if I wanted to, let's go over here to our enemy. Where are they going to be? Surely they're going to be around here at some point. There they are. Right, so you can see that they've set up their defense systems and they've staggered them around, so you can see they're all over the place. Right, so if I wanted to, I could come and, well, I can't build a shield. I could build my roadblock. It's in enemy territory at the moment, but if there was a neutral zone like here, I can come into here, into the neutral zone, and build my defense right next to his base if he's offline, which is always funny. So I could put my roadblock right in front of his base, so if he deploys troops, they slow down straight away, which is pretty silly. I could put my point-to-point turret there. I can put my air defense right next to his base. It'll get killed, but it'll probably take down some troops with it. It's a lot of fun to have if the guys are offline. We did it just for fun one day, because you always block the road, the edge of the map when you capture zones. So we built right along the edge of the map, so all the bases that were along the edge as soon as they woke up, they logged in, they went to deploy a truck to farm, they went to deploy a troop or whatever, and they were instantly attacked. They didn't last long, but it was just funny. A bit of fun, a bit of banter back and forth with the enemy, going, hey, we're here, we're not afraid. So hopefully that answers a lot of questions. Hit me up in chat or on Discord if you want to, and I will go through and answer some more questions in any detail that you want. Ancient Temple was not covered. It's just a bonus, and the reason why it's just a bonus is because it's out in the middle of nowhere. You have to come all the way into this dead zone, so you can see here there is no other access. You have to come all the way from your fort out into no man's land to take it. But it is a troop bonus, and all troop bonuses are beneficial, I guess, in the end. So we captured it for our alliance, so everyone gets that troop bonus. And you can see there's ancient temples inside your starting zone. So we've got another one over here and another one here, and I don't think, yeah, PB2 took that one. So my coalition doesn't get that benefit from these temples, but they all add up. So as many of the buildings as you can claim for your coalition, it all adds up. And we saw firsthand there were troops that were inferior taking down stronger troops, and that's just because of the bonuses, and there are tons of them on the map. So you really want to expand and grow, and like, we're still in this defensive phase. I think we're on to day 16 or something, day 16, day 17 now, and our shield is still up, so we're still protected while you're in that. So being the only active alliance, we've had to protect ourselves and build up as best as we can, because we didn't want them pushing through. And as soon as they saw that we were building up our defensive zone, they left us alone and focused elsewhere on the map. So there's tactics and strategies everywhere, and it's really one of those things that you'll have to adapt to on the fly, and hope that, you know, things work out for the best, and, you know, we'll make some moves that don't work out so well, but ultimately moving that CC regularly, we haven't really needed any landing pads. If we were to have more allies, the landing pads would be a little bit more useful, but because the base area, you can see that red zone is so big, like, the map is absolutely huge. So while the air pads are useful, you really actually don't make many allies, and you don't want to support one of them, because then the other three come and attack you. So that part of the gameplay is sort of not valid in this, like it was in Moscow. So like I said, if I wanted to join forces with GMA and I put an air pad here, well, the other three alliances would come and kill me. So, you know, even though we're trying to help GMA, we're still enemies to the other three, and so it's kind of pointless. If I was to build defenses here to support the north against the east, the north can't get past my defenses. They would have to take them out, so it's pointless building them, it's pointless jumping there. So really using the CCs as landing pads into each of the zones is the only thing that really made sense. I wasn't the first one in because of my time zone. I do not recommend having your CC. There was valid thinking behind it, but I don't recommend having your CC right smack bang in the middle. We had the longest, so SF were the first ones in. They took the oasis straight away, so we then had to build all the way to the settlement, all the way to the fort, and then all the way to the other fort. But it's a bit of a choke point because of the mountain range between the north and the south of our western region. So my R4 thought, if we build here, we could cut that line off, so these guys can't build north and we can't build, but we could build south. But like I said, with the coalition, you only want to be focusing on one. If you spread north and south, the map is way too big, and probably not ideal, although the builds are pretty cheap. If I go into the Alliance territory, so we have 147 zones, and if you look at the resource cost, our last turrets were only up to 990k, and we're the weakest alliance on the map, mind you. So in terms of size, we are the smallest. So 990k now at 147 zones, and you've got up to 20 million, and you know, bigger alliances probably will have more than that in terms of their storage. So yeah, 147 zones is insane. We didn't need to build this up. We just did it because we wanted to look big, and it worked because a lot of the enemies didn't come towards us thinking that we were really, really big in size, when really I've just used a bunch of alts to backfill. So I've got a couple of alt accounts on here that I've used to backfill while we're out fighting. So all I did was stick one in each zone. You can see them spread out, and I just went build, 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 and I just left them there for 8 hours. So while we're off fighting, there was 8 old accounts building up the zones inside our base for when the shields drop. And if you do that each day, like I said, you can fill up the area, and they're at no risk of getting attacked, and they just sit there. But one thing I will warn you about is the randomness of your respawn after being attacked. So if someone takes out your base, the randomness is insane. So I'm over here now because I airlifted here, but yesterday my base got attacked and destroyed. So you can see here, 20 hours ago, my base was destroyed, and no word of a lie, I ended up on this side of the map, in an enemy zone. So when I relocated my base, I was like right inside an enemy zone on the other side of the map. I had to waste an airlift to get back into our zone so I could heal up and repair. So airlifts are vital on this, and you will go through a lot of them, particularly later on in the game when you're protecting the north, you're protecting the middle, you're still trying to get to the center, you want to cover your allies. So there's a ton of airlifts involved, which is absolutely insane. So just be wary. When you hit relocate, it does not always bring you back to your own settlement area. It is completely random. You can end up anywhere on the map. Alright guys, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Hopefully that was insightful into into Cairo. So like I said, first things first, Theatre of Conquest, read through everything first, read through the missions, the battle plan, and be aware. I'm not sure what this is because it hasn't come out yet, so I'm trying to find some information about the Pharaoh's treasure. My guess is that it's a reward thing for when we take the middle. You can still do surprise attacks. We're not initiating it, even though we are getting our butts kicked because of the repercussions with the reduced, can't get the buffs from occupied strategic points, and there's a whole different reward set, so we're avoiding that. The information is there about your coalition, so you can help everyone, and everyone gets your alliance. So no matter which farm area, so I can go and farm in SF's area and I still get my collection points, and you share the building rewards. So whoever takes them, everyone gets the benefit. So it actually pays to work in a coalition, which is completely random, mind you, which sucks because we've got one active alliance, which is mine, and then we've got 3 dead ones. And yes, for those of you P2G members watching this from 87, I have the infamous SF, which are just annoying as hell, and they are from Sector 87, Mr. General Taco himself. Alright, so I actually got paired up with him after 24 hours after I destroyed his base using my 87 account. 24 hours after destroying him and his alliance members on my main, I found out that he's now my coalition buddy, and I'm stuck with them. So they won't talk to me and they won't work with us, but in the interest of our coalition, I still instruct my guys to go and support them. So it is what it is, and you're going to get that, and that's the most frustrating part of the game. SF beat us to some of the main points, like Blockhouse, and they don't defend it. So you can see why all this is grayed out. Free came and attacked us because they came and attacked us because we were the ones defending it, and SF were nowhere to be seen. So they only have like 1 or 2 active guys. So it's just luck of the draw who you get allied with. And like I said, you can set treaties with everyone else, but nothing actually matters except for your original coalition. They're the only ones that have a real impact on your gameplay. Alright guys, hopefully that was insightful, and I'll have some more information as it opens up for the rest of the map. And I know we've got 24 hours, I think, before the sign up phase ends, and then we go into our allocation of our coalition and whatnot, and we find out who we're up against. So enjoy, and hopefully this was a little bit of information that you can take with you. So as soon as we get in there, you know, you want to be getting that Oasis building straight away, and you want to get to the Fort 3 and Fort 1 paths as fast as possible, so you can prepare the rest of your builds around that. Alright guys, thanks. We'll catch you in Discord chat or in game.